Welcome back. And before doing the first DLC, the depths, went through and got all the achievements for finding all the rest of the collectibles in the other chapters. Happened to start a new game, and which point it apparently removes those chapters from your chapter selection and gets rid of all the collectibles. That's neither here nor there. I'm gonna do the second part of the DLC, the Hideaway. I actually went through it once and recorded it, but it got cut off for the last like 15 minutes, which is okay because it ran a lot longer than it should have. Probably the trickiest DLC yet, or at least one of the. Yeah, I'd say it's probably the trickiest part of the game yet, so we'll see. Definitely really interesting though. So last time it was a prequel, like little boy try to get away through the depths of the ship, which were all flooded, and got caught by the janitor with the long arms before his arms were cut off. So. But we still have the flashlight. This DLC is all about the gnomes, which I like. Looked up some YouTube videos basically explaining their theories of the story. And popular theory seems to be that the gnomes are either malnourished children, or because Six, that you played as in the first game, seems to be a really puny child. Probably malnourished and starved like everything else. Or the gnomes are possibly maybe just some other species that the other species have turned to eating. Alright, so it took me a little minute to find this out last time, but this is really cool. So make friends with these gnomes, and they'll help us. We just threw him up there. So. That's the whole dynamic here, is helping the gnomes so they can help us. Safe to say, since I've already been through it before and know what to do, it's not going to take me nearly as long as it did last time, but there's still a couple parts that are pretty tricky, so we'll see. And I'll still try to get most of the flotsam collectible things. I also did the alternate achievement for this one. Aside from collecting all the flotsam, each DLC seems to have just a random obscure achievement. The one for this one is a little bit harder than the one for the last one, which I'll talk about it when we get to it. I had to turn up the volume for a second, so let's see. Come down here, little guy. Sometimes you have to walk next to them to get them to follow you, and sometimes they get kind of stuck on stuff. Or just carry this one. Don't you love that sound? Come on, get over here. Be part of the team effort here. Now might be a good time to mute your device. There you go. Never mind, it's open. Yeah, that's like the worst sound I've ever heard in the world. Like they did too good a job of making that sound. Get up here and you're like, what is this? Nothing we could do anything with right now, so come back to it later. Don't have to worry about the ladder right now, we'll go there later, but I'll walk them back to the thing. I always get stuck on this thing here. There we go, now we got 3 little guys powering the furnace, like little slaves. I don't know if the gnomes are maybe made to do that, or if they're doing that because they know it's the only way to get out of here or something, and they want to power that lift. Like, I don't know if they're willing or unwilling slaves. This one's broke, so I gotta go get a new one. Here's where things start to get a little tricky. Gotta be careful of the coal. Guy has really good ears, as you might remember from the second chapter of the main game. One of the flotsams is underneath the stairway here, but I really don't feel like getting it right now. Right now I just feel like powering through this. I didn't realize the stairs creaked. It took me the longest time to figure this out, but you can actually open these. Like at first I thought you could, then I thought you couldn't. Then the handprint's here. You have to just get on like the perfect edge of it before it'll let you. The middle one I don't think you can open actually, but... speed running it. Oops. Doesn't give you very much room to maneuver there. That time stepping over the coal worked out because it lured him away. But rest assured he will be coincidentally following our trail. Just enough to keep us nervous, keep us on our toes. Just keep crouching, just keep crouching. I think we're in the clear. I don't think he can come through that door, but just in case, we're not going to take our time doing this. That is not even the hardest part yet. I wish it was. This part took me a little while the first time I did it too, trying to figure out how to get this other gnome over here. Not this one. You can get up there too, but there's nothing up there, that blue shelf. This thing is tricky. I thought you had to get them to help, like, push you while you were on it or something like that, but no, they don't do that. They just get in the way. You just have to wait for it and kind of time it right. You can climb up here too, but you can't climb all the way over enough to get over there. What you can do is get over here. To get Flotsam. Alright, it won't do the animation because I already have it, but that's where another one of the Flotsams are. And I meant to hit the table. Because they just get in the way, let's do this first, or at least try to do this. I'll put up with the noise for now. See, the boat keeps rocking back and forth, which... Hey, we did it. I kind of miscalculated my decision there. I should have got this one first because now I can't tell which one I'm chasing half the time. Sometimes this little guy's tricky to grab, especially when he's behind and you can't see him. Oh, that works. Kind of glitch, but whatever. I like the ones that just sit there in the corner and let you come to them. They talk about how strong this little boy is to throw these things that look like they weigh as much as him. Like that high, that easily. Who knows, the gnomes may be really light, like really not dense, whatever that is. Whatever the opposite of dense is. Can't think right now. Come on. The gnome thing works until it doesn't work, then it's really annoying trying to get them to follow you, right? Hardest part is still yet to come. It's actually the next part we're gonna do. Not quite there yet. Don't worry about that other thing right now. We can go over there, but there's not really anything there. Here's where things really start to get interesting. Here's another flotsam right here. Another bottle, pretty sneakily hidden. I like how they, the first DLC introduced a new creepy thing, and then the second one goes back and revisits probably the creepiest thing from the main games. Gives us more of the creepiest. So this is probably the hardest part. I mean, this is definitely the hardest part. I think this is the hardest part of the whole game, honestly. Harder than anything in the main game. I mean, the timing has to be, like, pretty spot on. And you have to have nerves of steel to, you know, be able to pull it off. Right here, no matter what, when you drop, he hears you. So you want to run over here, immediately grab a monkey and throw it. Even then, it still doesn't keep him all the way away from you most of the time. Like right there. I don't know exactly what the science is to it. But we will get it. Also, when we respawn here, pay attention to his desk. There's a wooden statue of a gnome that he appears to have carved himself. The achievement I mentioned, which isn't too awfully hard, is to get that gnome statue all the way to the furnace. But I'm not going to bother with that. I've already done it before, but... Go for the fucking... So it's a lot easier without having to get the wooden gnome statue there with you. But it's not too much harder to do it, but I just don't feel like bothering with it. So, start going over here. This part took me kind of a second to figure out the first time, but you jump, he jumps, so basically coaxing him, showing him how to get out. Come on, little guy. Come with me. Oop. This doesn't get you flotsam or anything, and I don't think there is a point to it other than just to be cool. To help show you where you're at story-wise, like... So the little thing is still there. So 6 hasn't got to the part yet where they... 6 is at that part right now. Hasn't cut off the arms of the janitor. Hasn't gotten to that point of it. So this is what the janitor was doing in between chasing 6. 6 getting to the library and stuff. Which I only know they're called 6 because I think the achievements or something, or because people online are calling them that. I honestly don't know how anyone knows that they're called 6, or if it's in the story at all. I don't think it's ever really explained in-game. Just one of those things where a character you didn't know had a name has an official name if you look hard enough. Like online and stuff. We can't push it up there because that ramp is too high for, you know, one person, one little kid, and one little gnome. So we gotta go this way. Kind of pinch the gnome in there, but whatever. There's another flotsam up there, that shelf. Once we get the thing, the gnome, or the cart through here, we can jump off the cart onto those shelves, but again, I already have the flotsam, so I'm not gonna bother with it. This thing, you'll notice I can't quite get it over that hump. So let's start by doing something we can do, which is get this guy. I like the music for the gnomes. It's taking me a lot longer to catch them than I thought it would. Stop running for me, you little bastard. There we go. That gives us enough momentum. Or not. We missed. Stop running from me, you little prick. You saw me hug the other one, didn't you? Sometimes if you just kind of hold right trigger while you're close enough to them, it kind of pulls them in. They did that intentionally, just to make it a little bit easier. One of them's not helping. Come on, be a team player. What is he doing? Get over here. Seeing if we had the wooden gnome thing, we'd have to go back and grab it and basically put it on the cart or something. Or just bring it with us. Oh wait. Gotta get up over there first. Get out of my way! Get out of my way! I like how they put the little handprints as subtle clues. I mean, not that it was that hard to figure out where to go, but... There's a softer way down, but oh well. Yeah, this DLC is a lot of work. I feel like it's probably the longest and most kind of convoluted chapter of the whole game, but I really like it. I think it's really interesting. Got a lot more puzzle solving than the other ones, and it's still got some pretty creepy, intense moments with the janitor there. See, this is the point where we had the gnome, we'd throw it in the fire and we'd get an achievement, but we've already done that, so I've already done that. Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah, here we go. Thank you, little gnomes. I don't know if you're planning on using this elevator too, or maybe you've been brainwashed into doing that to power the whole boat. Maybe that's what the gnomes are for. But then if that's the case, why would they keep eating the gnomes? Unless things got really bad. And they seem to be eating the gnomes, as skittish as they are. Or maybe it's just that kids and other guests on the boat are so starved that they've taken to eating the gnomes, but the people who run the boat don't believe in eating the gnomes. I don't know. It's a cool story. Oh, there's actually just found out there's a TV show, I'm pretty sure an animated TV show being worked on for this. Little Nightmares, so that'll be amazing. Can't wait to see that. Here's that big climactic moment you knew was coming eventually, where a bunch of gnomes just helped me. Like kind of that symbolic thing. I knew there'd be a moment like this when I was first playing through it, and then when I finally saw it I was like, oh, that's so cool. About half the amount of time it took me to go through it. It's the first time I went through it. And I thought we'd get snatched by the janitor again or something like that. Well, no, the janitor's got his arms cut off. But I thought we'd get captured again or something. But no, this is where the second one ends right here. So I don't know if the third and final DLC is going to involve the lady and the boy somehow. Before 6 runs into the lady. But it'd be curious to see. I mean, it would make sense because it'd be the most climactic thing they could do, since she's like the main top dog on the ship. But see if there'll be any mirror puzzles, or at any rate, we're not going to fight the lady, so maybe there'll be more guests or cooks or something that we'll have to deal with. Definitely excited to see it whenever it comes out. It's supposed to come out sometime this month, but they haven't announced an actual release date or anything yet. But thank you for watching. Please join us next time. And check out this game if you haven't.